Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. It's Sean from Seankbeauty Beauty. Today I actually wanted to do a review of the Rose Hermès blushes. I have 3 of them. I did expedited shipping with Hermès with the refills because the compacts that I purchased through Saks along with the mini brush is delayed in shipping. So hopefully you all are not having that same issue happening. Now, as far as lipstick goes, I wear this with a liner, but I didn't wear it today because I wanted you all to see how pretty this Hermès lipstick is. This was from the Rouge Hermès, the first launch, and this is the color Rose Boys. It is number 48. So if anybody wants to purchase this, you're going to fall in love with it because it's this beautiful, beautiful pink. Sometimes when you put on a lip liner, you lose the actual color of the lippy. So I wanted to give you all the true color behind this lipstick. So yeah, that is that with that. And let's get into why the high price point, some ingredients, and the key players in this collection and getting to know them, because once we get to know the visionaries, it helps us to understand why did they take the direction that they take, meaning lightweight compact, meaning color story, and why are the colors so close together and not a huge variation. So without further ado, we've got a lot to cover. Let's get into that. All right, friends. So right out the gate, I really wanted to highlight the creative director of Hermes Beauty, which is Jerome Touron. And his goal is not only to consistently leverage and solidify the aesthetics of the house, he's also responsible for the textures, the colors, also the gestures when it comes to Hermes Beauty, but he's very astute about the contemporary woman and her needs right now, which is skincare as well as makeup. His goal is not to transform or to mask you through makeup. It is actually to reveal your beauty, which means that whatever you're feeling on the inside to be expressed outwardly through the colors that you're using from this beauty line. He also wants the future of Hermes to really span out into skincare. And so he's very conscious about the ingredients that goes even into the makeup. So that's something that I find to be very intriguing about the Hermes beauty line, is the mindset by which someone is standing to really go about curating these products. Because I will tell you, friends, there are many lines out here that just want to give you pigment with all sorts of harmful ingredients. And I will show you exactly what I mean in this video, comparing Hermes's blush ingredients to another brand's ingredients in their blush for you to see exactly what I just said. I also wanted to highlight that in the first collection with the Rouge Hermès, Jerome had to look through an archive of 76,000 shades of leather and silks to pull 24 colors out of there to really curate that particular collection. With this collection, with the blushes, he looked at the hues of pinks that the house uses with the silk scarves. And I'll tell you, that is a tedious task all by itself. All by itself, to look at all these different colors that are in the house and try to curate a line out of that. I'm wearing the Hermes Twilly that actually came with this perfume, and I got 2 of them. And the reason why there isn't so much of a variation from what I can see with these blushes is because these hues of pink are so close together. And so if all of the pinks that Hermes uses is this close together, it's going to be very hard to bring in some variations. All right, and the next key player in this collection is Cristiene Nagel. She's actually the nose of Hermes, and one of those notable fragrances that we all love, or most of the people that I know love, and I'm wearing it today, is the Hermes Twilly. I absolutely love this fragrance. What she has brought to this blush is Onycha, sandalwood, and she's also brought in green tea. Now, I know that fragrance can be very controversial, but the great thing about using a powder or oil version of sandalwood is that it acts as an anti-inflammatory. So if you have rosacea, if you have eczema or acne, this is going to help to reduce that inflammation. Green tea is also a really great antioxidant, so she's brought that in here as well. Also an anti-inflammatory. And then Annika. Annika is known to fight acne. So another really great anti-inflammatory. So as you can see, the house is really thoughtfully looking at ingredients that they put into this blush. I'm going to take a even deeper dive into the ingredients as well, so that you can see if the ingredients is really justifying the price point. So let's move on to the next key player, and then we'll get into that. And last but certainly not least is Pierre. He actually is a French designer who designs bags and shoes, and he is known for his color blocking abilities. What he has brought here to this collection is pretty much the design. And he said that he made the compact for women who are on the go. So I don't know if that's why it's so lightweight, so that, you know, it does not bog down your bag. I do know that when you take off the lid off this lipstick, that this is substantially lighter. But, you know, the question of why one over the other, you probably have to ask him. I'm only assuming that a compact, you want to be lightweight because you're holding that in this hand and then you're using the bullet in the other, and you don't want everything to be just substantially heavy and then throwing that in your bag. I honestly, I just don't know. But let's go into the ingredients to really see if this is a justifiable price point. Because if you all remember in my luxury beauty video of why luxury brands have a premium, I talk about some of the key things that we have to be mindful of when their price tag is put on something that is said to be luxury. So let's look at that really fast. I'm not going to look at all of the ingredients, but just to give you context on some of the highlighted ones that I saw in this list. All right, friends, looking at this ingredient list, I'll tell you right out the gate, there's a lot of skin conditioning agents in here, a lot of humectants and emollients in here, which is the reason why everybody's saying it's such a silky feeling. It's so skin conditioning, so soft on the skin. We're looking at some key players in that, like talc, dimethicone is responsible for that too. Lauryl lysate is another key player in that, pentylene glycol, and we've got a lot of derivatives from your fatty coconut acid, like your capryl glycol. I'm looking at caprylic capric triglyceride, also lending to that really nice feeling on the skin. Some other things I wanted to highlight in here that are expensive ingredients, friends, is the synthetic fluoroflogopite. That is pretty much your bulking agent, increasing the viscosity, keeping this together, but it's also mica. And we see the controversy that's happening with mica, naturally derived mica. And fashion houses are now going after the synthetics, synthetically made micas, because, you know, it really makes them more responsible. They want to know how things are being sourced. Well, once it's made in the lab, it's going to be more expensive. So this synthetic fluoroflogopite is very expensive. Lauryl lysine, also very expensive. This is one that boosts collagen, really helps with the firmness to the skin. And then we're going to tocopherol. Tocopherol is pretty much your naturally derived vitamin E. This is expensive now because there is an imbalance between supply and demand. And just trying to get this now is just sourcing is really expensive. So that's all I'm going to cover in this, and I'm going to come back to you guys. All right, friends, so hopefully I didn't lose you in that ingredient list and really showing you or highlighting to you the expensive ingredients that right off the bat I saw and knew that they were super duper expensive. When it comes to drugstore, I'm going to show you the Hermes blush ingredients versus your regular drugstore L'Oreal True Match. And we're not going to go into ingredient by ingredient, but just to give you an overview and some understanding as to the differences as well, because some of you asked, well, why not just go with a drugstore? Why pay all of this just for packaging? And it's not true. So let's look at this ingredient list. So as you can see on this ingredient list from your True Match, we're dealing with a lot of parabens. Parabens is so controversial, friends. EWG has ruled out parabens because they are hormone disruptors. They mess with the reproductive system of women. Why this is in here, I don't know, and they have it sprinkled all throughout their ingredient list, and hence the packaging is very inexpensive. But this is the case of you get what you pay for kind of thing. In this particular example, not always the case across the board, but most of the time your luxury brands are really being more mindful of what they're putting in their ingredients versus the drugstore brands. And another thing is that the FDA does not approve cosmetics before it goes into the marketplace. So they're relying on cosmetic brands to do their due diligence to make sure that there are no harmful ingredients going in the product. When the FDA does step in is when they're looking at pigments that are being added into color products like this. So I said earlier in the video that Hermes actually looked at the hues of pinks within their silk fabrics to really give us this beautiful collection. Now, either, and I don't know if this is what happened, if any of those pinks are not in the archive of the FDA will step in if any of these hues of pink are not in their catalog of colors. So is there a premium with that? Absolutely. There's going to be a premium with that. Now, did that happen? I don't know. But just to give you some backstory with how it happens behind the scenes, is what I wanted to bring here. I know this is about blush, but these are the things that we need to know as consumers before we, really start knocking brands for this, that, and the next thing. Are we paying for campaigns and marketing? Absolutely. Are we paying to have a product that says Hermes on it? Absolutely. I'm not knocking that, but I am showing you some of the ingredients, even in this line, that are super duper expensive. And I'm also showing you that there's a lot of skincare properties in this as well that you're not getting in your drugstore either. So a lot of thought went into this. And if you were to compare this to your Chanel, you would see that even still, this has more skincare benefits in it than that from Chanel. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Now, let's get to the fun part, which is me trying on these blushes, because I absolutely cannot wait to show you all what this looks like on my skin tone. So this was the box that it came in. I'm super excited to try this with you all. The silk blushes are to resemble the texture of that of the Twilly embossed inside the blush. Right now I am going into the Rose Nuit. So the Rose Nuit is in this refillable plastic compact. It is described as a mysterious pink illuminated with a touch of moonlight. Really beautiful. Rose in French means pink and Nuit means night. And it comes with the pin to refill your compact. All right, friends, so we're gonna go into this Rose Nuit shade. I'm just going to lightly get this on my brush and dust it on my cheeks. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that. I don't even have highlighter on, but is that floral Flogapite that is actually giving me this luminosity to my cheeks. And the dimethicone is one that fills in texture too, any lines, also masks texture. So yes, you could definitely see this on me. It really is beautiful. What I can say about textures like this is that, like a cream blush, it gives you more of a youthful look to the skin as opposed to a more textured look. This one is the Rose Feu. Also coming in refillable compact. This one is described as a purple hibiscus. Feu in French means fire, and rose means pink, so it's more like a fiery pink shade. All right, friends, so let's try Rose Feu on this cheek here. I'm just going to dust off my brush. I do have my Fude brushes. I should have used those. I just got those in the mail. Ooh. A lot came off on this brush. Okay. So I'm just taking that and just pouncing it onto my my cheeks. And I'm just going to use a little bit more of this. This is supposed to be the deepest shade, so I don't want to go ham with this. And then we'll see if we really see a difference. Does it constitute even purchasing multiples? This is gorgeous. This is Rose Nuit. This is Rose Feu. They're both very gorgeous. And I definitely can see, I don't know if I can see a tremendous difference. I'm looking in the monitor here. Let's move on to the last shade. And this one is Rose Pommette. It is described as a radiant pink, and Pommette means cheekbone in French, so pink cheekbone. I'm telling you, you don't have to dig around in this much to get a lot of pigment. It just it really comes off on the brush. And if you have a natural hairbrush, you want to clean that with a cloth, microfiber cloth, as opposed to washing it, just to keep the longevity of your brushes. This one that I'm using is from Lancome. I'm just going to go through another pass with this. I'm definitely tapping this in so that I could really see how much pigment I get from this. So, can you all see a difference? This one is the Rose Feu, and this one is the Rose Pommette. The Rose Pommette, I would say, is my favorite. And the reason why I say that is because it's lighter. It's not as deep. All right, friends, so let's discuss a little bit. The Rose Feu and the Rose Nuit are the deepest shades. We know that. The Rose Pommette is more for the tan shades, tan skin tones. However, my absolute favorite is the Rose Pommette, which is the one over here, which just means cheekbone, pink cheekbones in French. And I feel like that's literally what it's given me. It's not harsh. Even when I smile, it does give me this youthful, subtle wash of color. Whereas, you know, this is nice, but I feel like if you're not careful, you can almost look bruised because of that purplish undertone that's happening in the Rose Feu. So I guess it's all about preference, but this is my ultimate favorite. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. It wasn't too much information, but it does give you some understanding on price point and the direction of the brand and what they were trying to achieve here with giving us skincare in the makeup and also trying to give us the most quality ingredients that are really at a premium. Yeah, I look forward to hearing y'all's feedback in the comments, and ciao for now.